Marjorie Taylor Greene is the ultimate Karen. Marjorie Taylor Greene wants the police to investigate Jimmy Kimmel. Here's why.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, this woman, Klan mom, is especially upset with the 3 Republican senators who said they'll vote yes on Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who's nominated for the Supreme Court. She tweeted, Murkowski, Collins, and Romney are pro-pedophile. They just voted for KBJ. Wow, where is Will Smith when you really need him, huh?
Oh my God. Jimmy Kimmel just threatened to slap Marjorie Taylor Greene by way of Will Smith. This must be investigated by the police. Well, that's exactly what Marjorie Taylor Greene has filed and is requesting the police to do. This woman, this United States Congressperson, has insulted the Capitol Police ever since January 6th. Now she wants them to devote time, energy, resources, investigative prowess, expertise, and getting to the bottom of Jimmy Kimmel. Let's go to the tweet. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said, ABC, this threat of violence against me by Jimmy Kimmel has been filed with the Capitol Police. But again, this woman has not shown an iota of respect for them. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene downplayed the violence at the Capitol, voted against awarding congressional medals to Capitol Police officers injured in the insurrection, and ranted that the agency is like gazpacho. She was talking about Gestapo, but she said it another way. And it's worth remembering back in 2021, the following was addressed. Greene repeatedly supported disturbing conspiracy theories and liked social media posts that suggested executing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and FBI agents, among others, according to several media reports. CNN's K-File found other troubling activity on Greene's personal Facebook page after reviewing hundreds of her posts and comments. In January 2019, Greene liked a comment that said it would be quicker to remove Pelosi from office with a bullet to the head. On another post from April 2018, a commentator asked if her H&O, referring to former President Barack Obama and Clinton, should be hanged. Oh. All right. Y'all got a triple dose today because that is the third Karen, all right? It's amazing to me that Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is elected by people, like people voted for her in the state of Georgia in her congressional district. She's not presenting legislation. She's not a policy champion. Hell, she doesn't know policy. She sits on no committees, but she's effective inside of the Republican Party. Now, there are those who continue to say things like she's not effective, she's a non-factor. That's a damn lie. She's one of the highest fundraisers for the Republican Party, and she's one of the most vocal, and she causes other Republicans who may be more moderate to shut the hell up because they are afraid of her. A congressperson who goes around America raising money with another congressperson, Matt Gaetz, who's under investigation for trafficking a child. All right, Doc, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'll be honest up front. I don't love the Jimmy Kimmel joke, right? I mean, I think that it's right to say if it was anybody else we were talking about, what he's suggesting is something we might want to think twice about. So in general, I don't think using the Will Smith episode to then turn that on somebody else is, it's just going to invite this exact kind of response. And so the response is not at all surprising. But of course, as you suggest, the irony is very thick here. This is somebody who on one hand has undermined the Capitol Police in every way possible, disrespected them. And so now calling them to her defense really is a joke. And of course, the reason that Jimmy Kimmel was calling her out in the first place was because she was doing the old QAnon dog whistle, silent whistle, that every single thing is pedophilia, lying about the judge's record, saying that this is all about pedophilia. This is just posturing for the, the QAnon vote. So just turn everything you possibly can into pedophilia. So, there's complexity on all sides here. I think it's fair to say we don't agree with the insinuation in general, but I would also say that the levels of irony and just who she's playing for right now is something we should really, be alarmed about.
Doc, speak for yourself. That joke was funny as hell. And let me tell you why that joke was funny.
Yeah.
Because to me, it really created the contrast needed here. Marjorie Taylor Greene is pro-violence. She's really pro-violence. She has literally said things that are violent on her social media post and in some of her rallies that she's held in the state of Georgia. Jimmy Kimmel found a way to thread the needle, to provide levity for the Will Smith thing, as well as connected to a very serious matter, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene, you gotta appreciate the irony of this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she doesn't fight back with words. She decides to get the police involved, the same police agency that she says basically is ineffective and that they are on the wrong side. She has criticized them, did not want to award those who were injured during that terrorist attack. But remember, she's the person saying that Republicans, conservatives should be allowed to say whatever they want to say on social media without being deplatformed because we have the freedom of speech in the United States of America and the government shall not infringe upon it. Now I'm going somewhere with this, Doc, because it's fascinating how ironic it is. The amendment of the Constitution that gives you your freedom of speech, your freedom of press, right? Says the government shall not abridge upon that freedom. Okay, we get that. Social media is not the government. Twitter is not the government. Facebook is not the government, but the Capitol Police are the government. So you are literally making an adversarial point to your initial proclamation as a United States congressperson. You want the government to regulate Jimmy Kimmel, but you don't want Facebook to be able to regulate its own private platform. Get my point, Doc.
Oh no, completely. I mean, at a certain point, I mean, if this was any other universe, you would say that this episode highlights the hypocrisy of her position, right. And that at some point, like the weight of the hypocrisy would sink the ship. But unfortunately, this thing just keeps floating up, and so in a way, there's no bottom to that. And so in a way, I agree with you that if nothing else, what we're seeing is just the complete hypocrisy on the part of what she's arguing, and the fact that she's calling the Capitol Police to her defense is particularly rich.
Yeah, it really is. I hope they respond in kind. All right.